everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I would do a little bit of a update on how my project books are going. And speaking of project books, while we're talking about it, that is one of the things I'm working in while I'm filming this video. This is the World of Flowers project book. The goal being to finish this before the 4th of November. So I have 4 project books currently right now. And by project books, I mean these are books that I am coloring in with the very serious intention to finish them before long. So I keep track of my books in my little coloring journal that I have. And I have little squares. I didn't bring my journal with me into the room, but I'd show you. But I've showed it on videos before. I have little squares, 1 square for each page. And then once I get the page done, I put an X in the square and I write the date on top of when I finish the page. So I thought, since it is October, nearing the middle, getting into double digits of October, I would kind of update on where we're at. So we'll start with World of Flowers since it's the book I'm working in right now. And I started this I'm going to finish project on the 27th of July is when I decided that I'm going to finish this book by November 4th, which is when her new book comes out, Wonderful Wildflowers. So I want to have this book finished before I purchase the next book. That's the goal. So yeah, it's a big goal. It's a lofty goal. I started with 53 pages in July, the end of July. I started with 53 pages, and I currently have 10 pages left. So that's it. I have 10 pages left and I will be finished. This is one of the 10 pages that I have to finish. And obviously I left the big guys for last. And some of the last ones I have are a bit more detailed. A lot of the easier, smaller ones have been finished. Some of the pages that have the shelves and shelves of little objects are some of the ones that need to be finished. But then I like this book because there's a cute little picture at the very end of the book that says "The End," and that'll be the last one I color in. So yes, I have 10 pages left to finish by November 4th, or at least sometime in November. The book comes out on the 4th, but obviously, there could be circumstances of money, or, if it's not near a payday, if there's other bills going on, I might not be able to purchase it on the day it comes out, but I will be able to purchase it because I finished this book. I do want to purchase 2 copies because I do want to do one in just colored pencils, and then I want to do one in only watercolor pencils. So it's kind of my idea for that. So it'll be maybe I could finish another book on my project list by then to compensate getting a second copy. But I'll buy 1 copy and then I'll buy the second copy after, I finish another book. So next on the list is 50 Halloween Miniatures. It's a Camellia Angel Cova book. So it's an easy book with, very simple drawings. You would think that I could plow through that quickly and get it finished. But that seems to be the one I'm struggling with the most. Mostly because it's easier to do that book with markers or some kind of, medium like that, and I'm just not a marker person. I don't get as much enjoyment out of coloring with markers as I do with pencils. I've done a good majority of those pages with pencil, but I don't like the outcome as much as I do with markers. So I will get there. I would like to finish that book by the end of the month, because it's a Halloween book. I have other Halloween books that I obviously won't finish by the end of the month, but nothing saying you can't color Halloween in like August and September and July or May, but you have to have a good, a good mix of adding Halloween pages to your coloring in October. So I would like to get this one finished by the end of the month. I started this challenge in August 31st, and when I started the challenge, I had 34 pages. I have 19 pages left, so I have not done a ton in this book, but that doesn't mean in the next couple of weeks, even couple of days, I might do one tonight while we're watching movies, because it's a simple book to work in. So I may want to get one or two done, and sometimes I will do more than one in the sitting because they don't take me very long to do. And it's a very fun book. It's very cute. It's a very cute Halloween book. So that one is like to get it done by the end of the month. Obviously, if I get that one done by the time Wonderful Wildflowers comes out, that could be me getting the second copy. So that's kind of how my brain is working with that one. Next on my project list is Phantomorphia by Kirby Rosanes. Now this one is a compilation, and so it's single-sided pictures, which is kind of nice too because I've been having fun doing water-based, like watercolors and ink tints and Neocolor 2s in the book, because I don't have to worry about not so much bleed through or shadow, just the paper getting crinkly, and it's hard to color on crinkly paper. So unless you've done the page first on the other side, I generally don't do watercolors, watercolor medium in a book unless I've done the previous page first, so I don't want to mess it up. But Phantomorphia, I started this project, finished in the inception of doing this was on September 1st. And when I started on September 1st, I had 26 pages left in the book that were uncolored, and I have 10 pages left. I'm currently working on one right now. That's my non-recording page that's going on right now. I finished one today. I finished the butterfly, the filigree butterfly. That one, there's a story there, but I'll get to that maybe in a minute. But I finished that one, and I'm working on one more that may or may not get done tonight. I don't know. It's an easier picture, so it may be something I actually finish tonight. I'm not sure. I would like to put more mileage on this picture, but I've been saving this one for recordings and lives and things, and might not be the best idea if I want to get this done, because I don't, I spend an hour sitting with my phone and recording videos for you guys, so it's one of those things where I may want to switch up what I color on camera so that I can sit down with this a bit more seriously and get it done, because I would like to finish this page soon. Because this is the thing is once it gets started, it doesn't seem so overwhelming. Like it looks like it could be a very overwhelming page if you really look at it, but I mean, once you get the bug done in the middle and you start thinking about the outside, the hardest part about the outside is going to be the background. I'm going to do it blue like I did in the page afterwards, just to keep up, consistency. It won't be the same shade of blue. Obviously, the flowers aren't going to be the same color of the flowers in the first page. But I at least want to be consistent with the backgrounds, since it's the same type of picture, just a different bug. And just for sake of, in case you want to know or were wondering, I'm using many different kinds of pencils. I'm using my, I have one of those plastic tote carrier things for classrooms, and I put some cups in it from the Dollar Tree to hold the pencils, and I've got Blick pencils. I have some Crazy Art in there. I've got some of the Artist Loft Michaels pencils mixed in there. I have the Statler triangle pencils in there. So I'm using like many different kinds of pencils on this picture, which is kind of fun to kind of go, you know, cross-set contamination, I guess you could say, on the page. But it works out well, and it gets them used is the thing. You know, I've had these triangle pencils forever. Part of the problem was not being able to find a decent sharpener for them, because they are kind of difficult to sharpen. But I got this one at the art supply store that we love so much, and this, I'll put it this way so you can see the name of it, and this larger hole of the two is really good for square colored pencils and sharpening square pencils. And I will tell you that I got this information off of Reddit, because I am quick to say, I wonder if, like in this case, I wonder what would be a good pencil sharpener for square pencils, or I wonder what this. Just go to Reddit. Just look for the, you can even just, you don't even have to look for the proper subreddit. You can just type the question in to Reddit and you'll find it. I think I found this in, my answer was either in the adult coloring subreddit or in the colored pencils subreddit, which is for artists and coloring and everything. So I'm fairly confident it was in that subreddit that I got the information. But I use Reddit like Google, honestly, in a way, because when it comes to like stuff like this, like what's the best brand of pencil sharpener for square pencils, or, you know, in this case we just moved to the city, so I spend a lot of time on the city subreddit looking for recommendations for different things, like art classes, or, you know, good restaurants to get Indian food, that kind of thing. And sometimes you don't even have to ask yourself, you just type the question in at the subreddit and boom, you get your answer. So it's been a really good resource. So I definitely wouldn't sleep on that when it comes to coloring. I don't belong to any of the coloring subreddits. I actually recently muted the adult coloring subreddit because I just got frustrated with some of the baloney I was seeing there. And I don't mean the pictures being colored, because that's just standard everywhere you go when people show their pictures, but it was some of the attitudes of some of the people there. I wasn't going to didn't think about getting into this on a video, but since we're here, I'll talk about my last book in a minute. That one's going to be a long-standing project anyway, so. And of course I don't have, it's on my, I screenshotted it and it was on my phone, but this person was like talking about those, actually give me a second, I can find it because I put it on my Discord. I brought it up on my Discord because I was so mad about it. It made me so angry. There's just a group of people that, you know, everybody's got an opinion and they usually suck. And it was just one of those cases. But it can be, and that's fine if you have an opinion or if you have thoughts in the matter, but sometimes you have to read the room, mind your audience, think about who might be seeing what you're saying, because if there's somebody that's just starting out with coloring and then they see people say things like this, they're just going to think, oh, well, what I'm doing is wrong. That's no good. They're either going to say, okay, well, I'm going to better myself and learn lots of cool stuff, or they're going to give up. It's one of the two, you know? And a lot of times it's just they're going to give up. And a lot of times it's just like, well, I now know, you know, if they see attitudes like this, they're thinking, well, this is what I need to strive for. But you have to think about there's other people that would just give up on a hobby if they think they couldn't do this. So you really have to read the room, and you kind of have to mind your attitude. And I'm stalling because Discord's not opening. But basically, they were talking about the simple, cozy books that you see out there with the bold lines and the easy coloring, right? And because somebody had taken a picture, and it was a cool picture of like a cart of apples and pumpkins, and they based the picture in alcohol markers, and then they went through afterwards and they added all of this gorgeous detail with colored pencils. It was beautiful. It was really well done. It was really cool. And this person's comment was like, see, that's the advantage to these books. You could, one, be boring and basic, LOL, or two, you could, do amazing stuff like this. And I thought, well, first of all, there's no wrong way to color a picture. If all a person wants to do is put down color with alcohol markers or water-based markers or colored pencils and leave it like that, that's right. That's how they want to do it, and that's their thing. Like, look at this. This could be considered boring, what I'm doing right now, because I'm not blending 7 colors together. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just coloring it because this is how I like to color, and I'm very happy with this is how I do it. These are my skills. This is my thing. Do I do fancier stuff sometimes? Sure. Absolutely. I will go through and I will do shading. I will do like bold outlining of things. I will add, more structure. I will add extra details to stuff that weren't there before. Absolutely. That's right to do it that way, but it's also right to do it without that. And so I walked away without saying anything because I just thought I feel like there's no talking to people like that at that point. They're just going to come back at you. I just walked away. I don't have the time or patience to deal with that. I just walked away from the subreddit and muted it so it does not show up recommended to me anymore because I don't need. And the thing is that it's everywhere. I see it on Instagram too, and anytime I see it, I just block the person. There's a lot of people that will do these little reels and videos where there's do and don't. And it's like, don't, just like color an apple with red and green and brown. And it's like, do, and then color this apple using 8 different colors and 7 different methods. It's like, no, if you want to learn that skill, absolutely learn that skill. If that's where you want to be with your coloring, do it. There are so many cool tutorials out there. There are so many people that are nice enough to tell you how to do it and lend their knowledge and what they've learned. There are so many cool tutorials on how to do all the fancy stuff. If that's what you want to do, do it. But don't shame people that don't want to. Don't make it sound like them not wanting to do that makes them less of a colorist than anybody else, because that's not how it goes. It's not how this works. And then you just sort of kill the sense of community that used to be in the coloring community. It just kind of dies. You just don't feel like if you can't make everybody feel like they belong, then no one's going to want to be around, and no one's going to feel like they belong. I mean, I will consistently say, yeah, I'm not a marker person. I don't use alcohol markers or anything like that to color my pictures, but that's not saying I'm any better than anybody else. I'm not. That's just not my preferred medium. I have fun with markers sometimes. I get annoyed when they run out of color. I think that's part of it for me, because I've had it happen so many times where I'm right in the middle of a picture and the marker runs out. Well, how do you fix that? So I get really frustrated with it, and that's why I don't use markers. It has nothing to do with anything else other than I just get so mad when they run out. So it's like, oh my goodness. So I don't use them. And I have some of those cozy coloring books that is all the rage. I bought a couple. They're fun. They're fun to do, just simple pictures, and I color them with colored pencils. And I think I do just fine coloring them with colored pencils. There's one I want to finish called Cat Moments. Yeah, I think it's called Cat Moments, and I love that book. It's so cute. And yes, there are a lot of big spaces in that book. You know, it is clearly designed for people to use alcohol markers on. I color them with pencils. Sometimes I will do the backgrounds of them too, and sit there and color the whole background. I've also used crayons on them, because I recently bought one of those big 100-pack of crayons at BJ's. I use crayons on them too. So, I will say this until I'm blue in the face. There is no wrong way to color anything. If you want to grow your arsenal of skills, I highly recommend it. I support you 100%. I'll help you find tutorials if you need to. I will search. I will find you tutorials if you want tutorials. If there's something that I do that you want to know about, I'll teach you what I know how to do. Just ask. You know, I could tell you about pencils and paper and all this other kind of stuff, but, you know, that's kind of where my ends. But if that's what you want to do, go out and do it. Great resources out there, really fun people that have really great ideas and a lot of talent. There's a ton of them out there. You can find them if you know where to look, which really you can find them on Instagram. You can find them on probably Threads, TikTok. You can definitely find them on TikTok. YouTube. You can find them everywhere. And they are more than happy to tell you what they know how to do. But you know what? If you don't want to do that, that's cool too. You don't have to. You don't have to learn how to do all that. You're still coloring just like everybody else. Guess what? Your coloring is still cool. Your coloring is still good. Still looks good. It's still awesome. I have a friend who colors with fountain pens. I have a friend who colors mandalas with fountain pens. And other things. They're getting into other books now too. I may have sort of enabled them to get like Johanna Basford and things. But they color with fountain pens. And that is hardcore to me. That's cool. And it looks cool. And they have a really neat way of choosing what colors they use. It's a whole system. They don't just choose a color. They let their watch choose the color for them and the time that it is. And it's cool. So how they color is absolutely valid and correct and cool. And it's kind of neat sometimes too to see just how much the system works to put colors together that look incredible. I mean, I have seen people do insanely cool things with crayons, where they will put the color down and then they'll take a Q-tip and Vaseline and smudge it, you know, and like smooth it out. And I've tried that with chapstick and it works and it looks really cool. Again, something cool I wanted to try. I didn't need to know that my coloring is good. But it's like anything, you know. If you want to grow your skills, grow your skills. If you are comfortable where you are at, then be comfortable. I'm very comfortable. I mean, I'm comfortable enough to get up here on YouTube and color in front of people, and I'm comfortable enough to take pictures of what I color and put it on Instagram and take reels and put it on YouTube because I'm comfortable. There's very, you know, and it's hard for a lot of people to find things they're comfortable doing. So when you find that thing and you're comfortable, hang on to it. Don't stray from it, and don't let people stray you from it either, you know? Well, let's see if I can get this over to the side. I know sometimes getting everything in the camera at the same time. And I'm a little zoomed out, so Hopefully it still looks kind of interesting to watch, or at least listen to me babble. So I did have one last project book. I went way off topic. I went way off topic, but I think it's important to get out what I got out. So I think it's important, especially if there's people that watch this video that are new to coloring. I think an understanding needs to be had. And here's the other thing too, before I get to the project book. I swear I'm getting to the project book. If you see stuff like that, don't feel like you have to engage with it and call them out, correct them. If you want to fight that battle, fight the battle, but sometimes it's just not worth it to lose sanity points. It's not worth it to get frustrated, and it's 99.9% of the time it is not worth arguing with people on the internet. I've been around on the internet since it became the internet. I'm not trying to sound weird or anything, but back in my day kind of thing. But there's that old saying, don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the negativity. Just scroll on, close the app, ignore it, and move on and do your thing. I think that's the biggest piece of this too, is do your thing. Because it's your thing. It is uniquely cool, and it is incredibly valid. So with that being said, let's talk about the last book. So the last book on my project list is one that I've had for a long time. And it's one of those ones where I've had it for a long time. It was a gift, and I'd like to finish it. When I started the project, I hadn't touched the book since 2021. So I had not really done anything with it in a long time, and it's a pretty book. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to add this to my finished books project. I'm going to make this a project. And the deadline for this is my birthday next year, which is in May. So I've got a ways to go. So if that gets put on the back burner and I don't touch it for a month, it's okay. But I will say I have been coloring a lot in it because the aforementioned friend that colors with the fountain pens also has this book. And we've been doing buddy colors in it, which is fun. I love doing buddy colors, by the way. If you see a book mentioned on my channel or in any of my collection videos, which I need to make more collection videos, and you want to buddy color in that, please hit me up here on YouTube. Just drop me a comment in my video and say, hey, I have that book, let's buddy color. Or find me on Instagram, same username, drop me a message on Instagram and we can buddy color. But I've been buddy coloring in that one quite a bit. So I've been actually getting pages done, and I've actually found, I figured that would actually be a good book for hashtag challenges. I think I did one for Olga's Find and Color topic for this week. And then I think there was one more that I have marked to do for a monthly hashtag. So I figure, if nothing else, that'll be like one of the first places I can look for hashtags to be able to color more in that book and finish it up quicker. So I think I'm going to, point to that one as my my hashtag book first. Check that book first. If there's something that matches hashtags, I could use it. So, and it is it's called Natural Patterns. It's by Janelle Demet. It is a hardcover book. It is hard to find new, under $30 right now. It's an old out-of-print book. You can find it used. I think my friend found it with, I can't remember if they said one page was done or no pages are done, and just the cover was a little beat up. But that was it, and it was like $10. So if you happen upon it in a thrift or happen upon it online somewhere used, it's a really fun book. Back when adult coloring took off, it was, the books were a lot of Zen doodly patterns. outside of like Johanna's stuff and Kirby's stuff, it was a lot of like, it was a bird, but the bird's body and wings were all filled with doodles on the inside. And that's kind of what this book is. It's kind of got that same, because it came out in that time period. But I started this project September 17th. And when I started it, I had 36 pages. And I have 29 pages left. So I have not done many. I do have 2 pages in there, or 1 page in there I need to finish for a fun monthly hashtag that I'm doing right now, which is the creature feature 1025 hashtag. I will hopefully remember to link the individuals on YouTube down below. Oh, it's like Craft Time with Yaya, I believe is her channel name. And she does this really cool creature feature hashtag, and it's neat. And I caught her video for it just in time to catch up with and do the one. I already did one of the 2 animals, because there's 2 animals this month. And so I did one, and I've got 1 more to do, and it's in that book. So that'll be another one I can cross off my list. So yeah, that's sort of the deal right now. Is I'm going through my planned pages that I did, my October planned pages. There are a couple I haven't done yet, but most of them I have, and I've done extras. But I am hardcore solely focusing on the project books, especially Phantomorphia, because Kirby's book came out today. It's a 10th anniversary book, and it's combined favorite pages from his past books over the last 10 years, but also there are new pages in there specifically for this 10th anniversary celebration. So I'm like doubly excited to get it, because I didn't know that, but I saw his Instagram post about it today and I nearly died. I was like, oh gosh, the book is out. So the goal, here we go. I get paid every 2 weeks, right? So I get paid next Friday. So the question I pose to you, YouTubers, is can I do 10 pages by next Friday? And these are not, the pages I have left in that book, Phantomorphia, are not simple pages. In fact, one of them is one of this old style, which is an animal like head and top of the torso that morphs into doodles of all kinds of little doohickeys. And that's one of the pages that's in that book. I would like to get it done by next Friday, so on payday I can order the book, because I would really like to have it. I'm very excited about this book, but it's one of those, no, I need to finish a book first. And obviously once I finish books, I will do a finished book flip, and I haven't done a finished book flip in a very long time. And I think the last book I finished was a Chameleon Angel Kova book. So I haven't actually finished a book on the caliber of Johanna Basford or Kirby Rosanes or Hannah Carlson. So I think it's going to be really exciting when I finish Phantomorphia and do a finished book flip of that. I'm going to be ecstatic about doing a finished book flip. But with all of that said, and also I think too, on the topic of finished book projects, I think next year my biggest goal with coloring is to finish more books. So I think every month, starting at the beginning of the year, I'll pick maybe 1 or 2 books that either I've, haven't done in a long time. Maybe I've only done 1 page. And I will add that to my list of books I want to finish. I think next year, the beginning of the year at least, once I start, or at least as soon as I figure probably what's going to happen is as soon as I finish one book on my list, I'm just going to add another one to the list and keep going until I finish more books. That's probably realistically what's going to happen. I did not intend to start out with 4, but I picked up the Natural Patterns book and just decided that this was one I really wanted to finish. I was very motivated and moved to finish that book. So that's why there's 4 books on my project list right now. But I think once I get this one done and Kirby done, I will add another 2 books on the list. And I believe I think my thought with this is I would like to finish a Lulu Mayo book. I have a video with my collection, and I think I have 6 or 7 of her books. I would like to finish one of them next year. So, excuse me. And if you are aware of her stuff, it is very detailed. Sure, the pages are smaller. That doesn't mean a thing. Pages are smaller, but they're super detailed. So that's going to be a challenge, a big challenge. And I'll do the countdown thing like I do in my journal, where I keep track of my pages as I finish them. So, and my pencil is now at the desperate need of being sharpened, which I'm going to take as a sign to sign off. I hope if you stuck around this long, you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider the free option of giving me a thumbs up. Also, please consider the other free option of subscribing if you want more coloring content. I'm probably going to stick to filming videos over doing lives. I may occasionally do a live, maybe once a month. I'm not really fond of doing lives over just sitting like this and filming. So it's going to be more videos like this, more shorts, smaller videos. I think I'm going to do, if you see this and you've gotten this far, leave a comment if you would rather me do my Kirby Rosanes collection or my Johanna Basford collection. And usually when I do the collections, I'll go through like each book and then I pick out a page or 2 in the book to show you that I've finished as a, this is a book in my collection and this is what I've colored in it kind of thing. So if you want to see Kirby or Johanna, just drop me a comment, let me know, and then I'll get that filmed. But otherwise, I had a good time hanging out with you guys, and I will catch you in the next video.